they were oblivious to that other side of life. In the 2008 recession, they were like, oh no, Canada didn't really experience it. You can see there's a lot of housing developments going up. We all earn quite a lot of money. And
no, we got spanked.
I've been to Canada a couple of times, and then I found it quite interesting as a visit, because the second time I went, I was visiting quite well-off middle-class people who had very big homes. They were in Alberta and Saskatchewan, so they owned farms, and they were building up quite nice lives for themselves. And so they had lots of land and everything that they could build on. When I was like sort of being shown around, and then also combined with my first visit to Canada when I was in Ontario, and my friend there took me to so when I was in Ontario the first time, and then my friend took me, like, drove through a reservation just to show me what it's like and how they live. And like, it's such a stark contrast between the quality of the housing and the way that it's presented to you compared to how the people were living in, like, you know, the farm owners in Saskatchewan and the wealthy people in Alberta.
There's so even different. Like even just parts of different cities that like as soon as it's almost like, have you ever seen the movie Judgment Night?
No.
Way back when. So it's a decently bad movie. But anyway, so places that you go, it's almost like as soon as you cross the street, everything changes. Like there's one street in particular that has these like mega $1 million houses, and then you drive under a bridge, and then the houses are tiny, they're dilapidated, like you can tell that they haven't been cared for, they're falling apart, and it's like the same street. Like it's just one street that has made these like stark changes. And it happens when they try to, like, I forget what the word is.
Oh, gentrify.
Thank you. And they then they price all those people who were living there out of those spaces, and they don't give them anywhere else to go. And like, especially now, and this could be just this idealistic pie in the sky thought process, but there are so many buildings now in and around different parts of the country that are vacant because those companies that were there will have decided, like, okay, fuck it, everybody's gonna work from home. Like, I know the infrastructure isn't there to make them houses, but if there was an investment into those spaces, like, you could turn that into some livable, affordable places for people so that you can get them off the street.
Yeah, easily. Very easily could be done. And I found that the attitude was so interesting, going from what you're saying here compared to some of the other people I was speaking to, where they were oblivious to that other side of life. That they were saying, oh yeah, no, we didn't, when in the 2008 recession, they were like, oh no, Canada didn't really experience it. You can see there's a lot of housing developments going up. We all earn quite a lot of money and everything, like our economy is pretty strong.
No, we got spanked. Like, I was working at a financial advisor firm at the time, and I was training financial advisors, and everybody they called were like, you're out of your fucking mind. Like, we're not going to invest now, which just for those of you who need investment advice, that was the perfect time to invest if you had the money to do so. Because if you were to walk into Walmart and your favorite toilet paper was on sale for 50% off, you wouldn't be like, oh, there's something fundamentally wrong with this toilet paper. You would just snatch up as much toilet paper would fit into your car. So when a market crashes in that instance, it's the perfect time to invest because it always rebounds. It could take 3, 5, 7 years, whatever, but it is going to rebound. And then you're buying those same good companies for less money. Thank you. The end.
Yeah. You just got to hope that the companies you've invested in actually survive, and then you can get a return on your investment.
But some of them were like, there was like major financial companies and insurance companies and other stuff that people stopped investing in. And it was like, it's still an excellent company, and it is still earning these profits. It doesn't change because, I mean, if they have a change of leadership, that changes things, but just the market. But yeah, no, the average, I think, loss in Canadian portfolios was about 30% during the 2008 crash.
Wow, that's quite a lot. And I'm shit at economics, and I can still understand that that's a lot.
But not in the 80s, like in the early to mid 80s, when interest rates skyrocketed, people were walking into banks and like putting their house keys on the counter to be like, I cannot afford this. This is yours now. Because when their mortgages refinanced, they were priced out of their home.
Yeah. And I think that's what struck me was that divide. I mean, 'cause it was easier seeing it in another culture that I'm not part of. So it's easier for me to be objective and see that difference in your culture. And I'm quite blind to certain aspects of my own culture, basically. That it was quite interesting to see how the people who are more in tune with the struggle of different people for different reasons at different levels of society, and how some other people who are quite well off, who have worked hard for their money, don't get me wrong, but they become blind to the struggles of poorer people.
Yeah.
It surprises you sometimes.
Have you ever seen those videos where they were asking like wealthy people what they thought things cost? And they asked this guy like how much he thought a banana was, and he was like, I don't know, $7. And it's like,
Jesus
like there was just no concept of what things cost because they just never had to worry about it.
Yeah. I have like I had a funny conversation with somebody about that, and it's like somebody was saying to me that like, oh, you're just really academic, you don't really exist in the world. And I was like,
what?
Yeah, I was like, no, that's because I'm autistic. Because they were saying to me like, well, you don't even know how much a pint of milk costs. And I was like, that's because I just don't remember. I was like, I have a food budget, and then I buy as much as I can, and I make my decisions within that budget. But I don't remember individual costs because I'm autistic and my brain doesn't work like that. That doesn't
I don't
mean...
remember individual costs either because I mean, if I need a certain thing, I'm going to buy it regardless. Like, there are some things that there are some things that have like skyrocketed so much that I'm like,
and it's surprising.
Perhaps we don't need cheese this week because like cheese has gone crazy. But just because I don't remember how much something costs doesn't mean I don't pay attention to the cost when I'm in the store. When I'm making those purchases, I pay attention and I price match and I see like what's the difference between these two items.
Yeah,
but
you just don't log it.
Sitting here, I don't know what the fuck milk costs.
Yeah.
And I only retain
the important stuff.
Not even the important stuff. I retain song lyrics.
Yeah, the important stuff. That's important.
I retain song lyrics and my dogs the last time they had their anal glands expressed. That's all it's rattling around.
I don't remember the last time I got my anal glands expressed. I need to get it done again. But the last few years, what we found is quite a nice money saving thing. Is obviously because there's only two of us, we don't need to buy a big turkey. Is we buy guinea fowl for Christmas. So
we just go to other people's houses and let them spend the money on the turkey.
That's a good idea.
Right.
But but I don't really have any.
And our grocery store some years will, like, if you spend over a certain amount on your shop, they will give you free stuff sometimes. And so like I got blankets, I've gotten lasagna dishes, and then occasionally at Christmas there's like, here's a big turkey. I'm like, we're two people, I'm never gonna make a turkey, so I just give it to whoever's behind me in line. Yeah.
That's a weird thing. Like, what is that, like a paying it forward thing or something? Or
with the grocery store? I think it's just a way to try to get you to spend more money in store.
Oh, okay.
Because then like there's times where they're like, oh, you're only a few dollars away, do you want to buy more stuff? And then I'm like, oh, I guess we'll need lighters, right? Like, so they just try to get there. But I do try to time it. If I see one of those, that I will like, okay, I'll stock up on the high ticket items, like toilet paper is expensive, so I will buy toilet paper because I'm never going to stop shitting. So
you might.
But often a lot of the things I just like, fortunately, I've been fortunate enough that the people behind me are people that could use it. Like there was one back to school one where they were giving out like 2 loaves of bread, a big thing of cheese, and like a big pack of like cold cuts for back to school sandwiches. We're not going to eat that. But like behind me was this woman with like 3 kids in tow, and I was like, perfect.
Yeah, they can have it.
You take this, feed your children for school lunches.
Well, talking about offers in grocery stores, right? I was in a co-op the other day, and I bought a sandwich and I bought a drink. Okay, and then the guy behind the counter goes, "Oh well, you know, you can get a meal deal, and you can just get a bag of crisps, and it'd be like 10p cheaper." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't want any crisps though. I just want to pay for these." And he goes like, "No, but why not?
They're free."
Yeah, they're free. And I was like, "I don't want to eat them. I don't want them." And then we had to have this fucking discussion for 2 minutes about how I don't want these crisps. I'm like, because I'm fat and I don't want to get fatter. Just fucking leave me alone.
Would your partner have enjoyed the crisps?
Probably not. She's not a big like the crisps that are on offer. Like she doesn't really eat those ones. So.
Oh, see, I would have taken it because it was free. I'm a sucker for free shit.
I was also just in a bit of a grump because I just walked an hour over a few hills and I was tired and I just wanted to take my drink, eat my sandwich, and fuck off back home.
I would have taken the crisps.